How did that even come about, that connection with Nike? Because that was for Australian Open. So it was high visibility.
Yeah.
They really pushed out that aesthetic and gave you a platform just to create things in your style entirely.
Yeah.
And they really wanted to mesh what you do with the Australian Open. It marries up real well, right? Like having that summertime, colourful vibe and a lot of playfulness and fun. How did that come about?
Dude, there's actually got a big story to that. And yeah, I'll take it right back. Like, so I'd been living out of home for maybe 2 years or approaching 2 years, finished uni. I went traveling over to Europe for, 3-4 months. And the deal with my mum was like, when you get back, you're out of the home, like go live type thing. We're packing up your bedroom thing. So moved out of home, and I moved in with my best mates, like in his old grandparents' home. They lived next door to his family house. So, living in there, and it was my first time living out of home, and, bills to pay, rent to pay, and I'd had a pretty good run of working with some clients by that point. I had worked with Heineken and Red Bull and some people, some big name brands. So I was, young and naive and confident, and thinking like, oh, I'm just like a free, I'm an illustrator now. I'm an artist. Like I could I'll just do this. And that soon popped. That bubble popped quite quickly with the realities of the world, and like to the point where I was like, I really wanted to just give up, and I was looking at ways to get myself out of that situation. Like it was really dire. I was building up quite a large amount of debt, rent to my best friend's family. We were really lovely to allow me to keep living there. And I'm like, I'll just figure this out. To the point I went to do like a job trial at just mopping floors at a local cafe, and like just been like, get me out of this situation. When did that, and it ended up, I worked, it was like, I don't know, for like 12, 14-hour shift, no lunch, no breaks. And then they offered you like cash in hand at the end, below minimum wage, and like kind of just, it was like the universe spitting me out, like, dude, get back to like, figure this out. Like, because I was just like, abort, get me out of this. I don't like this. It was my first time I was really getting pressed and pressured. At the time I was doing a little project with Officeworks. And so I was like, I just need to think smarter. I need to figure out a way to generate my own income rather than just waiting for an email to land in my lap. And so I put together with my friend an exhibition of 26 other local artists, which is the Letterman exhibition, which was just down on Johnson Street over there. And I gave everyone, because this is where I was first being into my letters and being like creating letter artworks. And so I pulled together 26 of my artist friends. We did assigned each person a letter of the alphabet. I made a whole alphabet and decked out Magic Johnson, which is an exhibition space down there, which I got an opportunity to use the space for free. And like to get to that point, even though I remember us setting up and me and my friend running down Smith Street, handing out the flyers in all the cafes and like all these businesses, and like, please, like we got this show happening, and we had no money at all. And I remember just like being completely exhausted, like running that. I wasn't aware how much work goes into event management and trying to wrangle like 26 other humans to try and move in sync. And I remember like it was the day of the exhibition, and me and my friend Gim, shout out to Gim, we were sitting in the gutter, in the street, and just being like, dude, what are we doing? Like we were starving. It was like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. the event was that night. Like, we need to eat, and he had $7 in his account. I had $7 in my account. So we transferred it into each other's account and shared a burrito on the street. And we're just like, dude, what the hell? Anyway, ended up being a really big success. Like, we auctioned off all the artworks. We generated a lot of money. All the money went to charity. And a couple days later, I got an email from Nike being like, oh, you're the letter dude. We need an alphabet for the Australian Open. And I was just like, bruh, like, man, I can't tell you how much that meant to me, to, like, after going through all that ordeal, and there was no foresight of what was coming for it. And they asked, we would like you to create an alphabet for the Australian Open. You've got kind of 2 weeks to do it. It was like around Christmas, and I just locked in over Christmas, and everything kind of changed. Like, that was the first time. So I racked up a large amount of debt for rent, so I could get myself out of that situation and get a breath of fresh air, like breathe. Felt like the waves of the ocean just going and going. It was genuinely a life-changing opportunity, and it gave me that belief back, I guess.
Yeah, it was more than just that opportunity there, but it kind of helped give perspective to everything that led up to it as well. You know, like you underestimate how you got to create your own fortune as well. You know, what you were saying to, instead of just waiting for that email to come, you got to get the wheels in motion for that email to come. So and you never know when it is. So when I was speaking with Justin Maller on this podcast, and his whole philosophy was, you just got to stay there, right? You keep doing it, but don't do it for any other reason other than just do it because you love it. It's going to get hard, and the opportunities will come, but you got to be there when they come.
Yeah.
So that was
fully, and it seems to me that it's whoever hangs around the longest, like, you kind of wins by default, or gets the opportunities by default. Like, the longer you hang around and push through those times, the less competition that there will be, I guess. And also the better you are at your craft by that time. Like, in those times where you're like down bad or things aren't going your way, you're forced to grow like at rapid speeds and figure out a way out of that situation, and also really reflect on, like, what am I doing currently? What could I be doing better? We look at those times as bad, or like, this is not what I want, and but if you kind of submit to them and pick it apart and really embrace the hard times, I think you can find a lot of your answers in there. Like, usually when things are going my way and I'm feeling good and think, you don't learn too much. Like, it's just kind of times to celebrate your hard work and pat yourself on the back type thing. But when it's not going well, you figure it out, because you have to.